Zoom, zoom, zoom. Whoops. One of the best mobility exercises in the whole world. So if I was in some strange, weird, parallel universe where I could only pick a handful of exercises, mobility exercises or drills that I could use to improve the health of my joints and just overall movement function, what would they be? Let's take a look. Hi and welcome to Hero Movement. I'm Luke Jones, and today we're going to go through a few of my favourite flexibility exercises, mobility exercises that you can use to improve joint function and overall movement capacity. So obviously there's no one size fits all approach. There's not just a set of exercises that's going to be perfect for everyone. We've all got our own little things going on, our own restrictions and things that we want to work on, and our own goals. That being said, there are a few common underlying challenges and obstacles that I see people face, myself included. People who move often, people who are sat at desks a lot, just anyone in the modern world. There tends to be a handful of things that we kind of share. That forward head, the rounded shoulders, some restrictions in shoulder mobility, hip mobility. For the most part, these are all things that most people kind of deal with to a degree. So there are some mobility exercises that are a little bit better at addressing those things and then kind of improve not just those potential restrictions, but our overall movement as a whole. These are a few of my favorites / least favorite because they feel disgusting, some of them, that I think could benefit most people. So let's go take a look and then we'll come back here and talk a little bit about timing, frequency and all that sort of stuff. Let's go. Okay, we're going to start with an overhead squat with a band against the wall, facing the wall. So this is an awesome one for improving your thoracic extension, so combating that kyphotic posture, improving your overhead mobility, hip mobility, and yeah, it's just really good. So we're going to face the wall and be as close to it as we can. So the toes are almost touching, arms are going up overhead, and then we're putting tension on the band. So we're pulling the band outwards and keeping that tension on, because that's going to activate the mid-back and pull the scapula together, the shoulder blades. So facing the wall in that overhead position, screw the feet into the floor, engaging the glutes and keeping the core tight. Squeezing, and then we're sitting back into our squat and back up. So we're keeping tension on the band all throughout, and you're going to feel your mid-back starting to light up, really starting to engage. If it's too difficult and you find yourself falling over or smashing into the wall, then you can take a step backwards, just have a little bit more space so you can have a bit more of a lean then, and you've got a little bit more room to play with. You can also ditch the band to start with if you're really struggling, and just do a normal squat against the wall. Maybe progress to overhead, and then have a play with the band. So next one, we're going into a twist, a lunge with a twist. So this one's great for opening up your hip flexors if you've got that anterior pelvic tilt, tight hip flexors if you sit a lot. It's also amazing for getting that thoracic twist, improving our rotation of the thoracic, which is something that a lot of us miss. So, whoops. Right, so we're coming into this lunge position. So you can start with the knee down. Ideally we're getting to the knee lifting off the floor, engaging through that rear glute on that rear side, as you might expect. We're going to plant the right hand, got left foot forward, and then we're twisting through the thoracic, keeping the core engaged so we're not twisting too much through the low back and trying to keep that shoulder from internally rotating and clicking like that. Trying to keep it externally rotated, and then we're squeezing the shoulder blades together and just trying to get as much rotation as we can. We can also play with threading the needle and then opening back. If that's a bit of a struggle, just bringing that knee down, do the same thing. Opening up. You can also rotate to the other side if you want to add a little bit extra. Yeah, it's another one that's nice for warming up before any squats or anything where you're going to be rotating and throwing punches. So the last one is this, starting in this 1990 position, which in itself is a really good position. They use it a lot at MoveNat and FRC. So it's great for improving external rotation and internal rotation. So the 90-90 is a 90-degree angle between the knee, the foot, and there's just lots of 90 degrees. So that's all you need to know. Keeping the core tight. What we're going to do, you could just stay in this position and play around stretching, moving towards your feet, and that's going to improve a lot. But we're going to add a hip thrust into it. So we're coming up and we're engaging the glutes, keeping the core tight. We can also go overhead, start with some light weights or even unweighted, and we're going to extend up, trying to not let our ribs flare, which is easier said than done. So we're coming up, squeezing through the glutes, and sitting back down. So as well as getting that internal and external rotation and improving strength there, we're engaging the glutes, we're engaging the core, and we can improve our overhead mobility and strength as well. So that's a really good one. If you struggle with the overhead aspect, then just leave that out and just do that standard thrust. You can use your hands if you need to, and you can always sit up on a cushion or some blocks if you need a little bit more space for your hips to actually get in that position in the first place. So with your hips elevated, it becomes a little bit easier to do the thrust. So those are my 3 favorite mobility drills at the moment, 3 that I incorporate quite a lot, and I would recommend most people give a go. Give a go, try. Yeah. Let's talk about timing. How often should you do these exercises? How long should you spend doing them? It all depends on your current situation, your goals, what you can fit into your current routine as well. So there's no set way to go about it. I suggest you just have a play with them to start with. Maybe do sort of 10, 20 reps of each, or spend a minute or 2 on each one. Find out the ones that you dislike the most, the ones that are more difficult for you to perform, and then maybe start to incorporate them into your warm-up, your prep work. Maybe in the morning you could spend a couple of minutes on each. There's no set way to do it, but just incorporate the most difficult ones, the ones you find the most challenging, into your routine as best you can. If you wanted to just work on everything, you could perform them in a circuit, spending a minute or 2 on each and just cycling through for as long as you want, really. Thanks for watching. Food in my mouth. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below, if you give the exercises a go, if there's anything you're struggling with, or if you have any drills that you like doing that you think should have been in this video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe, all that stuff, and yeah, have a healthy heroic week, and I'll catch you next time.